So let's start with amendment in chapter 3, that is value of supply. First one is value of supply in case of lottery. Rule 31A subsection 2 of the CGST rules provides the value of supply in case of lottery. If you guys remember, there was separate rates for value run by, means lottery run by state government and lottery authorized by state government. In first case it was 12%, in the second case it was 28%. But after amendment, there's the same rate is there in both cases, 28%. Okay, this is a new amendment. Earlier, separate valuation mechanisms were provided for lottery run by state government and lottery authorized by the state government. However, with effect from 1st March 2020, Sub-Rule 2 of Rule 31A has been amended to provide that the value supply of lottery will be higher of 100 by 120 of the face value of ticket or 100 by 120 of the price as notified in the official gazette by the organizing state. Okay, this is the notification dated 2nd March 2020. Now second one is clarification on issue of GST on airport levies. This I've discussed in detail in charge of GST amendment class. So just read it once. I'll explain you in short that there are two services involved in this. First service is provided by the airport operator to passenger. Airport operator supplies service to passenger, and return passenger pays PSF and UDF, but these fees are not collected directly from the passenger. Airport operator collects the service from the passenger via airlines, and in return airlines charges collection charges, and the airline is acting as a pure agent in this case. Okay, airlines is acting as a pure agent in this case. This is only there in this clarification. Just read it once. It has been clarified that service provided by an airport operator to passenger against consideration in the form of user development fee and passenger development fee are liable to GST. Means airport operator is collecting this two fees from the passenger, so airport operator is liable to pay GST in this, means forward charges applicable. PSF and UDF being charges levied by airport operator for services rendered to the passengers are collected by the airlines as an agent, and is not a consideration for any services provided by the airlines. Thus, airline is not responsible for payment of GST on UDF or PSF, provided the airline satisfies the condition prescribed for a pure agent under Rule 33 of the CGST rules. It is the licensee, that is the airport operator, who is liable to pay GST on UDF and PSF. Okay, as the airline is providing this service as a pure agent, so airline is not responsible for payment of GST on UDF and PSF. Who is responsible? Airport operator is responsible to pay GST on PSF and UDF. Next is airlines may act as pure agent for the supply of airport services in accordance with Rule 33 of CGST rules. Rule 33 of the CGST rules provides that the expenditure or cost incurred by the supplier as a pure agent of the recipient of supply shall be excluded from the value of supply if all the following conditions are satisfied, namely the supplier, they have just discussed the pure agent conditions only, they have discussed. Just read it once. The supplier acts as pure agent of the recipient of supply when he makes a payment to the third party on authorization by such recipient. The payment made by the pure agent on behalf of the recipient of supply has been separately indicated in the invoice issued by the pure agent to the recipient of service, and the supplies procured by the pure agent from the third party as a pure agent of the recipient of supply are in addition to the services he supplies on his own account. Okay, so these are the conditions which pure agent need to satisfy. Now what they have given, pure agent has been defined to mean a person who enters into a contractual agreement with the recipient of supply to act as his pure agent to incur expenditure cost in the course of supply of goods or services, or both, neither intends to hold nor holds any title to the goods or services, or both, so procured or supplied as pure agent of the recipient of supply, doesn't use for his own interest such goods or services so procured, and receives only the actual amount incurred to procure such goods or services in addition to the amount received for supply of goods he provides on his own account. Accordingly, the airline who is acting as pure agent of the passenger should separately indicate actual amount of PSF and UDF and GST payable on such PSF and UDF by the airport licensee, that is Airport Authority of India, that is airport operator, in the invoice issued by the airlines to its passengers. Okay, the invoice which airlines will issue to the passenger, in that invoice airline is supposed to indicate separately the amount of PSF and UDF and the GST payable on such PSF and UDF by the airport licensee. Okay, the airline shall not take ITC of the GST payable or paid on the PSF and UDF because he is acting as a pure agent. The airline would only recover the PSF and UDF and GST payable on such PSF and UDF by the airline operator. Airline is just acting as a pure agent. He'll just recover PSF and UDF from the passenger and he'll just remit to the airport operator. The airline would only recover the actual PSF and UDF and GST payable on such PSF and UDF by the airline operator. Okay, as it is charged from the passengers, so there is no question of taking ITC by the airline. The amounts so recovered will be excluded from the value of supply made by the airlines to its passenger. In other words, the airline shall not be liable to pay GST on the PSF and UDF for airport service provided by the airport licensee. Okay, in other words, the airline shall not be liable to pay GST on the PSF and UDF for airport service provided by the airport licensee, provided the airline satisfies the condition prescribed for a pure agent under Rule 33 of the GST CGST rules. Okay, the registered suppliers who are the ultimate recipient of the airport services may take ITC of the GST paid on PSF and UDF on the basis of pure agent's invoice issued by the airline to them. Okay, so this completes our amendment in chapter 7, that is value of supply. Okay.